All right, friends, we're going to try this one more time. See if by refreshing the connection completely, we have better luck with technology. I'll give it a second. See if anyone hops on and joins me again. I'm going to invite you to comment to let me know that you can hear me. Don't you all, you can all relate to this struggle more than ever before, though. Working from home, I think we're fighting for internet out here. I live in a country town. So, good. I see some people joining us now. Fingers crossed we keep this up. All right, so I'm texting with a colleague to see where I left off. I'll try to just pick up from there. But for those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about our new initiative, Animal Related Engagement. And we're talking about just quickly some of the research that supports this initiative. So we talked about a study where the researchers first compared different dog-related stimuli. So this is where they looked at dog coloring books, watching puppy videos, interacting with a therapy animal, and they wanted to see how, for people with dementia in a care facility, how these different kinds of dog related stimuli were received, and specifically how they impacted the residents' engagement. And these findings were really encouraging because at in the results of this study, it was found that across all of those different experiences, engagement was maintained, so successfully maintained. And interestingly, the group that maintained the longest level of engagement were those who watched the puppy videos. So, again, the researchers in this study are not saying that the therapy animal visits can be replaced, or that we can just all start tuning into puppy videos instead of visiting with therapy dogs. Certainly not the case, but it was encouraging because we know that there are many times in life when therapy animal visits are not possible, and even outside of this situation with COVID-19. So I'll take a break here, make sure I'm still on. I think we're good. Thank you for bearing with me. You can check out the white paper or webinar on this topic on ARE, petpartners.com/animal related engagement, to learn all about the research behind ARE. But I'll take a moment before we move on just to name some of the other major findings that have been so promising. A lot of the research in this field has targeted in on specific populations. There's been research on people with dementia, research on young children, and in other studies with people with dementia, similar findings existed. Interactions with plush animals, interactions with robotic animals led to decreases in measures such as agitation and loneliness. But it's not just these specific populations that researchers have looked at. There's also been studies of more general populations. And when I started to read about these, they were actually they were entertaining and kind of funny, because in 2017, researchers paired cute animal photos with pictures of participants' spouses. And hilariously, they found that this pairing of the cute animal photos with a picture of their spouse led to more positive automatic responses and even more relational satisfaction over time. So, if you're in your home and struggling to all get along now that we're trapped inside together, maybe we should just pair pictures of our loved ones with our cute animals and see what happens. Other studies of this nature have found similar outcomes. The watching animal videos has actually been led to more productivity in the workplace. So when life goes back to normal and you go to work, if you get caught watching an animal video, you can show them the Pet Partners ARE white paper to your boss. We know that watching animal-related videos can improve affect and mood. So there's a lot of great research out there that we hope that you will check out in our white paper. If you have seen the white paper, go ahead and comment. Let us know. Let us know how you liked it, and if you find a place for it to be applicable and where you're at in the world right now. I see a comment from Deborah Carr encouraging that she enjoyed the white paper. Thank you so much for letting us know. We're glad that it's helpful. So, even though this is a new term for us at Pet Partners, ARE, and it's a newly defined term, we wanted to introduce the research first, not just because we are that serious organization that takes our responsibility to empirical investigation seriously, but also because we wanted to show that this is an idea that's been around for a while. because of these unforeseen circumstances. Now we're defining it and we're encouraging it. And the way that we've defined this term as any engagement opportunity that allows participants the benefit of the human-animal bond by encouraging the remembrance of feelings that are commonly associated with the interaction with an animal. So as you can see through this definition, and you'll check it out more on our webpage, it's very broad, and it's intentionally broad because there's a lot of room for creativity here. We hope that you'll also find that ARE is something that's useful not just in this extreme circumstance that we're collectively in now, but also in times when life goes back to normal. I know many of you who are joining us today are probably volunteer leaders in your communities. How many times have we seen that once we start to get traction in our communities, we suddenly reach this point where we just can't keep up with requests for therapy animal visits? We hope that ARE can be something that you can do to set a runway to come in the future. If there are times when you've suddenly had to end visiting, whether it be due to an external circumstance, or maybe someone who you were visiting with is no longer a good candidate for therapy animal visitation. Maybe you've suddenly had to retire an animal, or you've unfortunately lost an animal. Then ARE is something that you can do to provide that continuation of services and really help your clients out in those times. I'm interested to hear, now that we're talking, any of you thinking back to your past volunteerism. Are there any times when you had to either cease services, or when you were preparing for services, that you think ARE could have been useful? Let us know. Checking out some comments here. Kelly says that she's a child and family therapist who is doing telehealth right now, and she's felt hindered in how to do canine assisted interventions. And she's appreciative of the attention of what we can do. Thank you, Kelly. We really appreciate what you're doing. I know that this is a really hard time to be someone specializing in mental health, and the world needs you. So thank you so much for your commitment to continuing to share the love of animals. Awesome. All right, let's continue on and talk about some of the suggested activities that we offered. Again, although we've defined this term, the sky is the limit in terms of what you can do. And we're really hoping that we can have platforms like this where you guys who are experts in therapy animal handling, who've been doing this for a long time, can share some of your ideas that we can all learn from. In the white paper and in the online resources, we've shared some ideas to get us started, and let's go over some of those. First and foremost, we've been talking a lot about virtual visits. I said that one of the things that really inspired this movement was the fact that our handlers were brilliantly going out and pioneering the way for virtual visits as soon as this situation hit. We do have a virtual visit guide that Pet Partners has published, both for handlers and for facilities. So you can go online and download that and see some best practices. And I encourage you now, we are seeing a lot that the stress of this time and the isolation of this time is wearing on all of us. And I can only imagine, if you are someone who is a patient or a client in a residential facility or a hospital, just how taxing emotionally this has all been. So if you're a handler and you have a relationship with a facility, maybe you can consider reaching out and saying, I'm here. If you have someone who needs it, I would love to even do a 3-minute FaceTime with you so you can interact with my animal. If you're a facility and you're looking for handlers, feel free to reach out. We have many, many handlers who are ready to provide that service. We've also probably heard about our We Are All Ears program. I love this program, and we talked about this on a webinar last week. But for those of you who have found yourself homeschooling all of a sudden, kudos to you. I only have animal children at this time in my life, but I cannot imagine how challenging it is to be working and to be suddenly responsible for your children's education. We hope that the We Are All Ears program will help to encourage reading in your home. If you are a handler and you have visited in places in the past and did Read With Me programs, we know that this is an intervention that's very supported by research, then this We Are All Ears program can be shared with those facilities too. The whole premise here is that young readers can read to either pets in their home, they can read to stuffed animals, they can even step outside and read to the squirrels. But when we shift our focus in reading and read to other beings who are non-judgmental, we hope that young readers will be more encouraged to continue practicing their skills. some really, really great resources available on our website. Reading logs, a pledge that you can make with readers. There's a fun bingo activity, so be sure to check that out. Even for adults, though, reading about animals can be really, really impactful. I think the staff is going to probably make fun of me for bringing this up again because it's been mentioned a few times. You've heard me talk a lot about where the red fern grows lately, but I just have to mention it because I remember that my love for animals was really started, or it was always there, but it was really encouraged when I was a young reader, reading these heart warming and moving stories about animals. And so that's something that we can return to now in this time, both as handlers who are missing this connection with animals and sharing this connection with animals with others people, and we can also encourage other people to be reading about animals. Right now we have a suggested reading list for a lot of different ages with a lot of different species on our website. Arts and crafts is a part of ARE that we're encouraging. Maybe some of you have noticed that you're getting more craftier than ever. I have recently found that I have run out of happy birthday cards, and so I don't want to go to the store just for those, and I've been whipping out my old craft supplies and making them myself, and it's been really serving my soul to do so. I think I'm going to continue to do it even after this, but we know, so with that in mind, arts and crafts are available to young people, to older people, and if you focus those in on animals, then it can have a special meaning. Another resource that is available to you is a coloring book that's been created of all different kinds of species during therapy animal visits. You can share this with facilities that you used to visit at, that you're getting hopeful to visit at again soon, and they can color those pages, talk about their therapy animal visits in the past, and get excited about receiving them in the future. We suggest you consider video content, sharing video content about your therapy animals. We know that it's not always practical for our healthcare providers who are already so busy to do the virtual visits where you're actually live on camera. And as we've seen today, sometimes you have technical difficulties working against you when you're working in a live capacity. So these pre-recorded videos of animals can be a great solution. Pet Partners has a new Facebook page where our handlers have been posting some wonderful content that you can share with facilities. If you have posted that content, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it, and your content is being viewed and enjoyed, so please keep that up. You can continue to engage in ARE based on volunteerism. You can make maybe cage cards for local shelters, or come up with an activity making dog toys and suggest that to people who you used to visit with, or if you're a facility, maybe that's something that you can do while you wait on therapy animal visits. Finally, we're encouraging our handlers to help teach the world about different animals, not just therapy animals, but about all different kinds of animals as an animal-related engagement opportunity. You can create some curriculum, maybe educating people on the difference between therapy animals and service animals, emotional support animals. We have some information on our website that will be helpful to you, or maybe a deep dive into a species that's just not as known. All of these things are ways that you can stay active, continue to talk to the community about your love for animals, and really bring about some positive change. So those are just our ideas. I'm going to look now at the comments. If anyone has tried any of these ideas, please let me know how they went, or if you have any other ideas. We would love to have them. Let's see. So we have Deborah Carr saying that she plans to share some of this with their volunteer department so that the kids can benefit from ARE. Thank you, Deborah. Please let us know how that goes. Let's see, what else? We have Heather saying her kids read to her guinea pigs all the time. We hope that they are a wonderful audience. I'm happy to hear that. I believe I've seen some pictures of the kids reading to your guinea pigs, so we really appreciate that. We have, let's see, some more comments coming in about therapy animal visits at Phoenix Children's Hospital. Daily visits with patients and weekly visits with staff that are themed. The staff yesterday made no-bake dog treats while the therapy dogs helped and got to lick the bowl. That is wonderful. Or that's a great idea. No-bake dog treats. We'll add that to a suggested activity. So as you trial and error these, keep on letting us know. You can send us emails at any time. We want to continue to update everyone on the ideas that come to share the love of animals through this initiative. Finally, I just want to touch on some of these success stories. We again know there's nothing like visiting with a therapy animal. You can see my little therapy animal laying on the sofa behind me. She misses going out into the world, and I can't wait to be able to resume in those visits. But we are hopeful that this initiative is still keeping people mindful of our love for animals and keeping people excited about our returning visits. We were told, I actually saw yesterday, our friends at VCU Health's Dog on Call program, they turned to Instagram to post what they're calling Daily Dose of Dogs, where the dogs do tricks and have messages for the VCU Health community where they've traditionally visited for a long time. That's been a really welcomed intervention for people there, and the link to that news story will be shared in the comments box for you to check out. We also had another team who reached out early on, pretty much as soon as the pandemic hit, and they inspired us. They said that they were doing a virtual visit with Vanderbilt's ICU healthcare providers. So this is not just the people in hospitals, but our heroes who are healthcare providers. They need visits more than ever. The handlers who engaged in that virtual visit said that even when they weren't able to physically touch the dog, that it made a huge difference and brought them hope and brought them light. We've heard more stories of people finding joy while reading at home to their pets or stuffed animals. We've heard of kids learning fun facts about new and exciting species and about their relatedness to the environment. We've heard about seniors and kids in hospitals enjoying the therapy animal coloring book activities, and that while doing so, people are talking about their rich memories with therapy animals or with childhood pets, and that it's making a tangible difference in the environment there. So as you can see, we're really excited about this new initiative. We hope that you are too. And we hope that more than anything, you as handlers and as lovers of animals, as advocates of the human-animal bond, feel supported, and know that you are continuing to make a massive difference in people's lives by sharing the love of your animals. So I'll take a moment here to pause, again, check the comments, see if any questions have come in. Again, any ideas that you might have, please feel free to share them. Kelly says she's been using the social media Project Puppy Love to engage with families. Let's see. We have some questions about if any teams have been able to return to hospital facilities yet. We have Sally saying that she's visiting through the window. So I know that when it comes to returning to visitation, that's probably going to differ by state. Patty says she's been doing FaceTime visits with several patients at the VA hospital in Minneapolis. Thank you so much for doing that. So glad that you're able to reach that population. Molly said, the Vishla said that she's visited a nursing home and has signs saying things like sit, down, jump, kiss, and they do that. That is so cute. So using signs to prompt the dog, what a wonderful idea. So I see some really great ideas being shared. Thank you guys so much for sharing those. Before I let you go, I do want to make one final plug. I have to let you know a fantastic opportunity that is coming up next week. We know that this time of a sudden cease of visitation has not only impacted the people who we visit with and impacted our animals, but it impacts us as handlers. So many of us have been doing this for so long. It's how we connect with the community. It's how we connect with each other. And at Pet Partners, we want to make sure that we're giving space for us as handlers to talk about the real sense of grief and loss that we have at this time not being able to visit. We can hold that in the same hand that we hold our hope for a return to visits in the near future. So with that in mind, next Wednesday, May 20th at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Dr. Aubrey Fine, who is chair of the Pet Partners Human Animal Bond Advisory Board, is going to be discussing some strategies to support you and your therapy animal during these challenging times. If you've never heard Dr. Fine speak, you've got to check this out. He is just engaging. He's an amazing advocate who has really led the way in this field. Both he and Dr. Leslie Stewart actually contributed to the white paper with letters for AAI practitioners, so be sure to check those out. And if you're not sold yet on joining us next week, you just have to read Dr. Fine's letter and see how it makes you feel just to read his words, and I think you're really going to want to join us next week. So I'll be there. I hope to see you there. Again, want to thank you for all that you do. Thank you for staying committed to the human-animal bond. In a nutshell, ARE suggests that this bond that we share with animals is bigger than any circumstance. I keep preaching on it, and I won't stop because I believe it. I know that animals will make the world a better place no matter the situation. So I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for staying with us through the tech difficulties, and I look forward to hearing from more of you soon. Thank you.